Your mother was working outside the home.
Yes, she worked night shifts.
And he was home at that time.
Yes.
Take me through the moment, the first time that you have a recollection that something here this isn't right, I'm uncomfortable.
When we first met him, he was very, very nice, and he treated all us girls right. And then all of a sudden, like I felt one day, he just rubs my leg, and then all of a sudden it just started progressing a little closer to my area, and then I realized, like, okay, something's going on. I don't really know what's going on. He started, rubbing my back, getting closer up here, doing all this, and I'm like, okay, something's weird's going on. 8 years old, I don't know anything about sex or touchy-feely things, really. And whenever my mom was gone at work, I always, liked to sleep in her bed, and I always slept in a T-shirt and some underwear. And I took medicine. I took some medicine to help me sleep. I had a headache, and I was very, very tired. And I heard someone coming in, and then all of a sudden he came laying in bed, cuddled up next to me. I didn't know he was in his underwear and a T-shirt. I had no idea about that until I woke up kind of halfway with me on top of him. And then I was like, whoa. What's going on? What is this? And then it just progressed more and more and more to me stripping down, stripping in front of him naked and all that, and going down to his area. I'm like, hey, this has got to stop. And then I kept it in for the longest, and then I finally decided, you know what? I don't want to tell my grandparents. I need to tell somebody else.
And how long did this go on?
It went on for about 6 months. Almost to a year.
What did he say to you about this?
He just told me, don't tell the cops and don't tell anybody in your family at all. Mm-hmm. And which I didn't until, I finally realized, hey, it's getting way too far. Stuff's starting to hurt. Teachers are realizing, something's wrong with Anna. And then, I'd finally, say, I'm going to tell my teacher, what's going on.
When you say things were starting to hurt, he was beginning to hurt you physically.
Emotionally and physically.
How has this affected you?
I relive a lot of things. For a while, it did affect my sexual relationship with my husband for a little while because I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to bring anything back in it. I just relived most of it and trying to hold back tears and trying not to cry and then more and more stories came out and then more and more that I relived it.
At the time this happened, you said you were spending a lot of time with your grandparents?
Yes, I basically lived with them. I didn't really want to stay with my mother. I didn't want to be around it.
The school called your grandparents. Why did they not call your mother?
My grandparents were on the emergency call list.
I see. It was 2 weeks later that you told your mother about
yes.
this. And you told your mother what? What did you say to your mother?
I told her, she kept asking, she told me, why would you do this? Why would you do this to me? What did he do? He never did. I told my Mama, he did all this. I listed everything. He made me watch porn. He tried to have sex with me. He stripped me down. And she's like, that's not the truth. He will never do that. He treated y'all so well. I don't think you're not my daughter no more. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. You should never have done this to me. I hate you. And then she hung up the phone. And then I didn't talk to her for almost 3 years.